Hey, what's going on, guys? Jelly from LastWar here, and I'm here to actually try to help you all today. A little background about me. I've been playing this game for a little over a year. My wife actually got me into this game. She played it much before me, and she was the vet that I learned from, and now I'm here to spread my knowledge. Now, as you may notice by my day count, day 61, that doesn't equate to a year. Well, truth be told, is I played this game on a couple servers before, and I had some stuff happen in real life that caused me to step away from the game for a while. And by the time I came back, I was so underleveled, I decided to just start new, and here we are. I'm in a new server with a bunch of lovely people, and I'm sure most of you guys are actually watching this. And if you are, hi, nice to have you here, and I'm happy to see you. But regardless, let's get into today's topic. And by now, most of you guys are already aware of what it is because it is the title to this video. I'm going to be talking about introducing gear for everybody, what hero gear is and why it's important and what about it and how you should go about doing it. Now, take in mind, I'm still learning the game myself, and what I may think is best may not be what another player thinks is best. In fact, what I may be spewing, a lot of the community may be completely against or have a difference and opinion than me. And if there are people who play this game that are watching this, please share your opinions below, because learning from one another is the only way that we're going to get better at this game. Now, a couple things to note before we start talking about this video. The first thing that I really want to point out is that you should only ever use your honor badges, your honor points, on gear blueprints. These are going to be integral for you to continue to grow later in the game. Maybe not now if you're beginning the game, or if you're in the first 60 days, even like me. It may not seem like a whole lot now, but the more of these you have stockpiled, especially in the future, the better your life is going to be. So I beg you to only spend honor points on gear blueprints. Nothing else here is worth. The second thing I would like to touch on, gear is very important, and I don't want to understate the value of it. And as I said, there is differentiation and opinion across the servers, across the individuals who play, and it does vary completely dependent on your spending on this game. Now, I won't lie, I have spent a little bit of money, and by a little bit I mean a decent amount of money on this game, so I'm in the upper echelon of players within my bracket. I wasn't always a spender in the game, and I'm going to continue to preach the habits that I did when I was a very minimal spender. And that's essentially what today's video is based off of. When I was a very minimal spender or very low spender, at one point I think I bought like 6 things, which was the extra builder, the extra tech center. I think I had like the VIP pack or something like that, and I bought the heroes. And outside of that, I was very minimally spent. But regardless of that, let's finally get into actually discussing what today's video is about. First thing, if you have played this game before and you're not new and you're not looking for advice or tips or anything like that, you should probably move forward to the video, because right now I'm just going to be talking about intro to armor, or intro to gear. So for those of you that are new, you're going to get gear, all sorts of gear from different things: completing daily tasks, clearing zombies around your base, participating in events, participating in PvP, things like that. Random things you're going to get all sorts of gear from, trucks, secret tasks, etc. Now, ultimately, you're also going to get this gear factory. And once you are a high enough level, I don't remember what level it unlocks at, but once you get it, you're going to want to level it up to just level 20. This is another very important thing. Never level your gear factory past 20, because as you'll see, when I click on it to level it up to 21, it literally does nothing. It just improves power. It's not worth it. You're wasting resources and time in a builder. Don't do it. But regardless, you're going to get all sorts of gear, and it's going to be 4 tiers. There's going to be green, which isn't featured here. There's going to be blue, which is featured here. There's going to be purple. There's going to be orange. Now, something I notice a lot of young players do, or new players, is they'll get this gear and they'll equip it to their heroes and they'll be very excited. That's all fine and dandy and stuff, but what I personally recommend is actually don't, because you're just inflating your own hero stats and your own power, and you're gonna lose battles against people that have played this game before, and a lot of the times you're gonna be scratching your head wondering why. Well, the ultimate thing is the difference between orange gear and everything else is astronomical. If you look at just these stats up here, hero attack 895 as the orange gun versus the purple gun being 190, there's a 700 point difference between the two, which that alone is enough to win you some battles or lose some battles. The second thing I see people doing, if they've never played this game before, is actually leveling up purple gear. So you can't level up blue gear. I see people leveling up purple gear, and that's just not worth your time or the upgrade ore. Upgrade ore is it's such a hard thing to obtain in mass quantities unless you spend money on it, and even then the value for upgrade ore is not there. So regardless, my point is don't upgrade anything purple and just avoid that at all costs. Something you should be doing as a new player, however, is pretty much breaking down all of your gear, purple, blue, or green, and dismantling it. You'll see it here. I have nothing to show here, but it'll all pop up here, and you'll want to dismantle it all. And once you have it dismantled, you're going to go over to merge, and you're going to merge each tier up. So you'll click on it, and then you'll click merge, merge all, and then so on and so forth, and you'll move all the way up the tiers until you get nothing but dielectric ceramics. Reasoning for that is, as I said, orange gear above everything else is just the pinnacle of what you want. Now that you know how gear works, what it is, and you have a basic understanding of everything about it, I'm going to take you into what you should be doing in order. Okay, let's just take it back a moment and let's pretend that you are a brand new player and you logged on and you decided you wanted the 99-cent Kim pack. So you bought Kimberly, which by the way is the best value in the game. If you haven't and you still have the opportunity to buy the 99-cent Kim pack, do it. You will not regret it. Say you bought that and you don't want to buy anybody else, you don't want to buy anything else, and this is what your squad looks like, at least for a while. Okay, so you'll have Mason, Kimberly, Monica, Scarlet or Violet, it doesn't make a difference, and Murphy. This would be what your squad looks like. Okay, so now that you know what your squad's going to look like, I'll break it down exactly in order of what you should be doing. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do once you have your hero lineup set is you're going to want to put a gun onto Kimberly. So yours is not going to be level 40, so I'll just grab a level 0 gun. Okay, so once you have your first gear made for Kimberly, which is going to be your gun, the next thing that you're going to want to do is head on over to Murphy, or your best defender, which will be Murphy, especially if you're a low spender. But if you're a high spender, I'm sure by now you already know that as you go on, Murphy will not be your best defender. But regardless, you're going to want to go to your best defender and you're going to want to build a radar out for them. Next thing that you're going to do is going to be building guns for the rest of your squad. So regardless of whether they're an attacker or defender, you're going to want to do that. So build a gun for Mason, Monica, Murphy, and finally your other defender, whether it be Scarlet or Violet, which for this specific example, I have Violet. Next thing that you're going to want to do is build a radar for Violet or Scarlet, whoever your second best defender is. You're going to want to build a radar for your second best defender. If I haven't said it by now, you should probably be writing this down in a notebook or on something or in your notes on your phone, whatever the case may be. Then, top it off, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start building chips. So it's going to be this guy down here, the Hunter Data Chip, M5A Hunter Data Chip. Everybody on your squad, focus on giving it to your attackers first. Then after that, you're going to want to give it to your best defender. And then Violet. Now, all that should be left after chips is you're going to want to build armor for your two defenders. So obviously you'll want to give it to your stronger defender first. And then you're going to want to give it to Violet. And then you're finally going to want to build out radars for your attackers. So your back three attackers. You're going to give it to Kimberly first, and then Mason or your second best attacker, and then finally Monica or your third best attacker. But early game, that should be pretty much your squad. And then after that, you're going to just want to go ahead and give gear to all. And it doesn't really matter. I always recommend giving it to Kim first. And so after all of that has been done and in order, the way that I just said it, you should have a fully stocked out squad with gear. So every single individual should have full orange gear. So in my example, here's Murphy, here's Kimberly, here's Mason, here's Violet, here's Monica. Okay, so after all of that, you finally have your entire squad kitted out in gear, and you finally have gear for every single individual. And now you're asking yourself, well, what now? I have to level my gear, and as I said earlier, upgrade ore is hard to come by, and I'm here to kind of walk you through that as well. And if you haven't, or if you did already, put your notebook away, take it back out, because it doesn't get any easier, and I wish that this information was easy to attain and keep, but unfortunately you forget a lot of it, including myself. I've forgotten some of this, and so I'm trying to do my best to explain to you guys, and it's confusing regardless whether you've played the game or you haven't played the game, and I'm not the best at explaining things thoroughly. But regardless, your first rule of thumb, we'll use my second squad as my example. This is what your squad is going to look like. It'll have a bunch of level 0 gear across the board for all 5 heroes, and once that happens, you're going to want to, first things first, level every single piece of gear up to level 10. All 20 pieces. So nothing goes up to 20 or 30 or 40. You're going to want to level everything up to 10. Another rule of thumb, if you don't know this already, is to upgrade gears in batches of 10 levels. Now you may ask yourself, well, how do I know how much upgrade ore I need per level or per 10 levels? Well, I'll be honest, I don't have the exact number, and I'm sure you could probably look it up on the internet and get the exact number. But the best way I've always remembered it is it's 20,000 upgrade ore for the first 10 levels. It's 40,000 for levels 11 through 20. It's 60,000 for 21 through 30. And then it is 80,000 for level 31 through 40. So write that down. 20,000 for the first 10, 40,000 for the next 10, 60,000 for the third group of 10, and 80,000 for the last group. So all in all, about 200,000 upgrade ore, give or take a little less. So now that you know that all of your gear is level 10, you know exactly how much upgrade ore it takes to get each level or each 10 levels, because, and the reason that we level in 10, by the way, is because if you'll notice extra attributes, they only go up every time you level in groups of 10. Okay, so all of your gear is level 10 now. There is a specific way to do this. I do recommend personally getting your guns on your attackers up to level 40 first. So in my example, Schuler has a level 40 gun, DVA has a level 40 gun, and Kimberly has a level 40 gun. I would prioritize getting your 3 attackers' guns up to level 40 before anything else. After you have everything level 10, your 3 attackers' guns should go up to level 40. Then after that, you're going to want to do radars up to level 40 for your 2 defenders. So obviously, you should always go for your best defender first, and then your second best defender second, obviously. You'll want to get these radars up to level 40, and this is a painstakingly time-taking process. None of this happens quick, including building the gear. You may be asking yourself, well, you built all that gear, and I don't have enough for it. Unfortunately, it does take between a month to a month and a half to fully kit out your first squad and gear, sometimes even longer if you are completely free to play. It just takes time, and just like Clash of Clans or any other mobile game, or if you're like me playing on this computer, a lot of it takes a very long process. So anyway, once you have your radars up to level 40 on both your defenders, you're going to want to go for level 40 gear on both your defenders. Now, you'll notice how when I said to build gear, armor was the last thing that I told you to worry about, essentially. When leveling up, this is actually pretty important because of the hero HP and the physical damage resistance that you get from leveling this up to 40. I do actually recommend this. And then from there, I personally will focus on leveling up all 5 of my chips up to level 40. It is your personal preference whether you want to do attackers or defenders chips. It doesn't make a difference. Both benefit from it. Personally, I will do my defenders first because the resistance to all damage types makes me happy, and I like to play defense. Once all 5 of your chips are up to level 40, the next thing that you're going to want to be doing is leveling up your 2 defenders. So should be Murphy and Violet in the example I gave to you. You're going to want to be leveling their guns up to level 40. So from level 10 up to level 40. And then finally, the last thing that you're going to care about is getting your armor up to level 40 for all 3 attackers. So I'll go over it again. First things first, get all 20 pieces of gear for your first squad up to level 10. Second thing, get your guns up to level 40 for your 3 back row attackers, or support in Monica's example. Just get radars for your 2 defenders up to level 40, and then you're going to want to get armor up to level 40 for both defenders after that. The 5th thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get chips up to level 40 for everybody on your squad across the board, defenders and attackers alike. You're going to want to get all 5 of your chips up from level 10 to 40. 6th thing is getting your radar up to level 40 for your attackers. Oh my god, I completely blanked over that when I was going into the definition. Wow. I forgot to say that, and I'm so sorry, and I'm glad that I put this in here now. The 7th thing you're going to want to do is get your guns to level 40 for your defenders. So in your case, Murphy and Violet, but in my case, Carly and Williams are my 2 defenders, so I'll want to get their guns up to level 40 as the second to last thing. And finally, the last thing that you're going to want to do is get armor up to level 40 for your 3 back row attackers or supports. That's pretty much the basics of it. If you're still sticking around, I'll explain a couple of other things too as we go forward. Once you reach up to level 40 for your gear, you'll notice how it pops up into this. I call this prestiging or tiering, whatever you want to call it. I'll always call it prestiging. Now, you'll notice that I haven't touched on this or told you to prestige anything out of order compared to leveling. Now, there is reasons for that. I'm going to explain why you should wait until everybody's at level 40 across your first squad before you should start tiering. First things first, this is just a non-tiered gun, a non-prestiged gun, and I got it up to, or armor. I don't even know why I'm saying gun. I got it. It's an armor. I got it up to level 40, and this is what it costs to prestige it one time, and you need to prestige it 5 total times in order to get 1 tier. It is 23.5 million gold, which equates to, if you times it by 5, 125 roughly million gold per prestige level. Now, granted, it is phenomenal to get those tiers, but the gold outweighs the benefits of prestiging your stuff. And the reason we wait and we save our gold is because I'm sure some of you haven't noticed completely, but you will at some point. As you level up, in order to get level 10 troops, you can get level 9 from level 1 to level 9 all the way up just through leveling up barracks. But in order to get level 10 troops, you do have to do a thing called Unit X. It's called Special Forces in your tech tree, and you're going to have to get everything up to level 30 appropriately. It is a painstakingly long and gold expensive process. Just for one of these researches, it is 224.3 million gold. So the reason we wait for everything is because we want to focus on putting all of our gold into special forces tech in particular, so we can get T10. And gold is very, very hard to come by in terms of how much you need. You do need about 13 to 14 billion gold to complete your special forces, not including getting your HQ up to 30, your tech tree up to 30, your barracks up to 30, so on and so forth. It is a very expensive process, so that's pretty much why we wait to tier prestige all of our gear. But if you were past that and you do have T10 troops, or you don't really care for T10 troops, you don't think you're going to get there for a while, we'll talk about what is best for tiering. My personal opinion is this. I do believe that you should tier or prestige your gear evenly among all heroes. This varies completely by the individual, whether they want to be defense heavy, offense heavy, or if they just want to be balanced across the board like myself. And I'm sure people will leave their comments below about why they do what they do and why they do it. And I'm completely happy with that, and I hope that they do, because I still need a little bit of guidance myself. But what I do is I like to prestige all of my gear pretty much evenly, or focus specifically on one hero. So Carly, for example, once all of her gear is up to level 40, I may want to focus solely on prestiging all of her gear. So I will focus on this, and this on Carly, and everybody else is going to have no dots, no prestige, no tiers, but Carly's going to have 4 maxed out pieces of gear with 5 tiers. Now, the other portion of gear touched on slightly earlier in the video is that it's not just gold, but it's also upgrade ore, which is extremely hard to come by. Dielectric ceramics, it's not too hard to come by, especially after you have all of your gear made, but still trying to find this in bulk quantities is tough unless you're spending. Now, I'm going to give you guys an example, but in order to do that, I have to jump over to my last server, and I have a bunch of stuff saved up because I just kind of stopped playing it. Okay, so we're finally over here on my other server, and as you'll notice, I wasn't lying when I said I was pretty free to play. I didn't spend a whole lot of money on this server. I do have my main squad up to 5 stars, but outside of that, I've done really not a whole lot. So I'll give you guys an example of what it's like to tier up over here. As you'll see, I do have a butt ton of everything, so it's not going to be an issue. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys are ogling if you're a vet over 130,000 upgrade ore, and I am too. I wish I could bring it over, but you can't. Regardless, this is how you tier up a weapon. So once it's at level 40, you'll notice 4 empty bars. Each time you click this button, promote, it fills up a bar. Each time you do it, it spends 12,500 upgrade ore, 150 dielectric ceramic, and 23.4. All in all, 23.4 times 4 is 114 million. You're going to spend 50,000 upgrade ore, and you're going to spend 600 dielectric ceramics just to get to here. Then you have to spend another 12,500 upgrade ore and another 150 dielectric ceramics. And here is the special thing I told you to save, 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 save. Blueprints, blueprints, blueprints. Now to level up the first prestige, it's only 5. That's it. It's only 5. But I have a level 4 prestige gun over here. And you'll notice that I need these blueprints. These are going to be a completely different video when it comes to spending money, because you pretty much need to spend money in order to get those until way later in the game. And it's not even worth explaining in this video. But I do have a level 4 gun. Here's a level 2 gun, a level 2 prestige gun, and you'll notice that it's even more expensive. So in order to prestige it 3 tiers, if I promote, you'll notice now I need 15 gear blueprints to get it up to tier 3, which I just did. So now, to get it from tier 3 to 4, I need 20. Now, you need in total to get one gun from tier 0, so just level 40, up to prestige 5, 50 normal gear blueprints, 10 of the mythical gear blueprints, which are expensive. It's like $300 or something just to get 10 of them. So just to prestige it one time. So you need 50 normal blueprints, you need 10 mythic blueprints, and you need like 500 million gold and 250,000 upgrade ore. So it is not cheap, nor is it going to be fast to tier your guns. And there's a reason I say do it evenly. There's a reason I say get everybody across the board at the same time, or focus on one hero. Okay, so as far as I'm aware, I think that's pretty much covering everything. And I think that's everything for the gear. If you guys do have any more questions, or you guys want any tips or advice, please do comment below. I do appreciate all of you guys, and I'll make another video here soon. Let me know in the comments below what video you guys want next on top of whatever advice you may have for me. Jelly's out. Peace out.